Sure. Got it.
All right, this is Jim Carty of the Patch, and I'm here with Daniel Donato of Trouble No More Band. How you doing, brother?
Fantastic.
I
appreciate Happy to be joining us.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. So, tell me a little bit about how you got yourself in the music business and some of your influences. What got you going?
I started playing Guitar Hero when I was 12, and then I grew up right outside of Nashville. And at the age of 14, I had this idea to go down and start busking the street, make some money. And that led into me like sitting in with a band.
Right.
And that led into me like sitting in with this band every week. And then I discovered this band called the Don Kelly Band, which was this archetypal Nashville honky tonk band, very famous in the Nashville market. And I ended up playing with them for like 500 shows.
Wow.
Crazy. And
at a very young age as well.
Right? At a very young age, yeah. I was like 17 when I started playing full time.
That's awesome.
And so I've been playing full time now for about 10 years of my life.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's been a great first decade. It really has.
Right on.
Yeah, and so, every event from there kind of just domino affects its way in a linear fashion up into where I'm sitting here with you today.
Yep. And Taz, who's the other guitarist in your band, also, I remember going to see him after Allman Brothers shows at BB King's with Colonel Bruce Hampton and people like that. And I'm guessing he had to be like 8 when I first saw him. I mean, really young. Really young when I first saw him. Crazy.
I was not that. Taz, his trip is crazy. His mind is just absurd. Yeah, he's just such a brilliant person.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean the whole band. I mean, and I know Peter Levin some. I hang out with the Blind Boys of Alabama a lot, and my friend Jerry Jamont and some other people were in Greg Allman's band. So I would see Peter with Greg Allman and the Blind Boys, and he's probably one of the top 3 B3 players and keyboardists in the country, I'd say. Him and Ginty maybe.
I love Pete.
He's dynamite. Him,
Everyone
Ginty, and Bruce Katz, I think, are my 3 favorites.
I don't know those other guys. I'll have to check them out. Yeah. Man, Peter, I mean, Nicky Gillespie on drums is obscene. Jack Ryan, of course, and Dylan, Brandon's brother, Dylan Niederauer on bass, and then
great.
Roosevelt Collier, and Lamar Williams.
Lamar's great. I mean, I think I saw him with Butch Trucks' band there. Might not have been the first time. Definitely saw him with Devin Allman at times, and I know he's out there with the North Mississippi All-Stars as well. So you guys in the North Mississippi All-Stars are fighting over Lamar's time because he's so dynamite.
Lamar's man. I learned a lot from Lamar on how to sing and deliver a vocal and how to go about the storytelling process. Yeah, he's just a natural at it.
Yeah, he seems very comfortable on stage, doesn't he? Just saunters out there and delivers it very easily. That's great. And you at only 27, I mean, you don't seem very shy on stage yourself. You have nice stage presence from what I've seen, and
yes, I'm not. I'm just not shy at all, really.
Yeah,
I've always been a very extroverted person. Yeah.
Now you have this project, and you've got like some product of your own out there as well. You want to tell folks about that? Well, I have
about Cosmic Country.
Yeah.
Cosmic Country is that's more or less my main project.
Right.
And that's kind of what we do all year long when there's not the monthly or so Trouble No More gig that we're doing.
Right.
Trouble No More is such a cast of characters that you can only do it so often. Cosmic Country though is I mean, for anyone who's into, you're into country music, like older country, you're into bluegrass, everything that's going on in that world right now, or you're into jam bands, or you're into just Americana style songwriting, anything of anything that is within a frequency of similarity to any of those words I just said, Cosmic Country is for you. And we just finished our first year of heavy touring, or we're about to finish it rather. And we're going to do close to 180 shows.
So you're out there working really hard between the two projects there.
Working and playing, so you have to do both.
Yeah,
yeah. So it'll be over 200 shows for me this year total.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to ask you. I think the first Allman Brothers show that I got to see the show from backstage was at a time when Jack Pearson from Nashville was with the Allman Brothers. Have you connected with Jack, being a Nashville guy and a former Allman Brothers guitarist?
Yeah, I've known Jack for years.
Yeah, tell me about that relationship.
You know,
I think he's amazing.
Jack's amazing. He's just one of those classic. He's one of those classic hermit geniuses where it's like,
right on.
You can barely get a hold of him, and you decide you guys are going to meet at noon for lunch. Then he shows up at 2. You know, and then it's like,
but he's worth waiting for.
Every time, oh my God, yes, Jack. You know, it's he's just full of wisdom, man, and he just knows how to play. He knows how to play and not take things too seriously. And he knows how to play within the box and outside of the box.
Yep.
And he's just a brilliant guitarist and a great vocalist as well.
Yeah, he really is underrated as a vocalist, because you put the guitar in his hands, and people who know guitar, I think he's every bit of the guitarist that Warren Haynes is, that Dickie Betts, that everybody,
I don't know. I don't know about. I wouldn't go as far as Dickie Betts personally, because the one thing that you have to say about Dickie Betts is the compositional aspect of what he does with his craft.
That is true.
Which I don't even know if Warren Haynes with Soul Shine and Government Mules work, but I mean that's one of the things about Dickie Betts that's drawn me in time and time again over the years is there actually really aren't really many other guitar players who can compose like him.
No one writes songs with you. Yeah, man. You call me to the mat there, Daniel.
Yeah. But in terms of
executing,
playing,
I will tell you that I flew down to Atlanta for the tribute to Greg at the Fox Theater, and I was probably about 4th row, and Jack was the primary guitarist in the house band. And
that show was so good.
All night I was just thinking, Jack's just so dynamite. He belongs in the Allman Brothers, and when I saw him with the brothers, he wasn't out of place. I mean, certainly you remove Dickie from the equation, you miss Dickie, and so on and so forth. But you're right. I mean, and Dickie adds his own flair as well as the compositional piece.
Without Dickie, there really is no. Missing a lot of songs.
yeah, you really are. Now
you're missing a lot.
One thing I wanted to ask you, I guess, is so there are tribute bands out there doing an Allman Brothers thing, and then there's you guys that transcend the tribute band thing. This is really an homage by people who are extraordinary at their craft and with links to the Allman Brothers family in some instances. Tell me, what is the value proposition of people coming out to see Trouble No More? Because I think that there's a real value prop there.
I think what we're aiming to do every night is to take these songs and bring them to life in the same way that the band did, but they're inevitably going to sound and feel different because we're not that band,
right? Sure.
But we're taking the same trip. So if that experience is something that you resonated with, or like me, you never really had the chance to go and see it as much as you would have liked because you were born at a time where you were on the tail end of that kind of chapter of their career.
Yeah.
We're the perfect experience for you. We all know the music really well. We've all studied the music for years, and we know it inside and out, and we honor it, but then we also add a new life to it. And we bring it to life. We know that's what the brothers would have wanted.
Absolutely.
So we're trying to give you the closest ticket to ride that you can in terms of an Allman Brothers experience in 2022 and 23 and beyond.
That's great. So tell me, what is it like to be on the road with this group of guys, and just open ended. What do you want? What else do you want to impart about this journey with this particular group?
Well, with Trouble No More, everyone is such at a high level, respectively, at what they do with their instruments, that I can't help but learn something every night.
Mhm.
I can't help but learn something from Nikki on drums or Peter on clav. When Peter goes on Elizabeth Reed after his solo and he goes to hit on the clav for the rhythm, I learn something new every night. Or with Lamar on how to deliver a vocal,
Right
just how
on.
to tell a story. So, the one thing I can say is that there is just so much mastery going on stage, and I just feel like a student. I feel like I'm on a scholarship of some kind.
You look really
Yeah.
happy. You look
Yeah.
happy to be in this project, though. That's great.
Oh man, it's a thrill. It's a thrill of a lifetime. One of the first songs I ever remember really feeling something with was Jessica. I remember thinking if I could play that on guitar, I would feel like I'm flying. And so
Yeah.
that's 15 years ago. Then like you fast forward 15 years, and then they're playing that at the Beacon Theater this year on March 25th, 2022. And it's like,
Crazy.
there you go. Yeah, there's a nice small 15-year circle that just wrapped itself up onto the next one.
Yep. Now, I often see you. I think you're usually playing a telly.
Yep.
Can you talk to the gear you're using, and um, do you not? Now, the telly's a great tool for country, which obviously, Cosmic Country is your primary gig, but then you come to an Allman Brothers project, and you didn't often see the guys in the Brothers playing a telly.
No,
Tell
doesn't
me.
work for that kind of music, really.
Yeah. So are you using different gear when you're doing an Allman Brothers type show?
Yeah. I'm using a lot of the times I've been using a PRS, a really nice PRS that was gifted to me from Paul and Rich over at PRS.
I own a PRS. They're dynamite guitars, beautiful instruments.
So yeah. And some of them are really cool, and this one is like particularly a top shelf model that I think just fits perfectly for this music. You can't like, Warren Haynes did a good job with it back when it was him and Dickie.
Mm-hmm.
You watch the old Rock Palace stuff where Warren's playing the Strat, and then Jack Pearson does a good job with the Strat. But at the end of the day, there's just a certain level of compression and sustain and overtone manipulation that needs to happen, that is done through the perspective of a humbucker for this band. I don't know why that is. It's just like the kind of horse that this job calls for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's like that kind of a deal. And man, it sounds different than telly, and it plays different than telly, but it fits it perfect.
Now let me ask you this, because you're only 27. How do you feel you got imbued by the spirit of the Allman Brothers? Have you made your pilgrimage to like the big house in Macon, and have you interfaced with some of the younger folks that were in the Brothers and played with them on stage, or interfaced with them in other ways? Tell me how you kind of connected.
Yeah, I mean, Dwayne and I got to smoke a joint before he sat in with us at Peach Fest this year.
Yeah, nice.
That was really fun. He got to play the PRS I used in the band. I love Dwayne. I've been down to the big house a couple times to hang out with old Richard Brent down there. And I traded Richard a couple mushroom caps for a few T-shirts.
Right on.
Last time we were there, and we got to go upstairs and look at all the archives of the photos that the family doesn't want you to see, and just all that. And it's cool, man. The music is the source vehicle that keeps bringing me behind the veil. And every time I get to see something behind the veil, there's another veil to see something behind. It's just kind of endless cycle. But man, it's been a thrill. We got to play down in Macon actually twice this year at the Capitol Theater.
Beautiful.
With Trouble No More. Really fantastic time. Gorgeous, amazing place to have made music, and we're probably going to keep it up as long as this project goes for. We're going to do it every year. So yeah,
Good.
I've definitely spent a lot of time at Macon. Got to go to grants and do all
Right.
that and hang out there. And
I haven't been to Capricorn yet. Have you made it to the Capricorn studio?
we actually, that's something that would be great to throw in the publication of this interview, because we just dropped 2 videos from Capricorn
Oh, you
that are on
did?
YouTube now. Yeah,
Oh, I gotta
yeah,
grab those. Yeah, man.
yeah. If those are great pieces of content that we're trying to promote right now for this endeavor as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. What tunes did you do at Capricorn?
We did Trouble No More and Don't Keep Me Wondering.
Okay, good, good. That'll help me find it. Good.
Yeah. And what I love about it is with Cosmic Country, like, I'm the main guitar player. Nathan plays guitar a little, but I pretty much am playing guitar the whole show. With Trouble No More, like, I'm sharing guitar privileges with Rosie and Taz.
Yeah.
And so that's just a great, anyone who's a fan of mine and what I do, I think they're able to catch another dimension of what it is that I'm capable of doing in this band. Those videos really describe that in a great way.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm spacing. Now, what's the date and venue you're doing up here in Connecticut near me?
Oh yeah, let me pull it up.
Yeah,
So
I don't have it at my fingertips. I'm such a space shot.
we have New Haven, Connecticut on the 10th
Very cool. And what venue is that?
at the College Street Music Hall.
Awesome. That's a great spot.
Great spot.
It is a very good spot. Good.
I saw
I can't wait.
Steve Vai's playing there soon.
Yeah, he is. I can't believe he's doing that size room. He just he's doing some smaller rooms on this tour, and I got to catch him somewhere. But
Yeah, he's in Nashville. He does like I think he does like a really small room. I think it's only like 300 people.
yeah, but he's still a niche thing. I mean, people in the know that Steve Vai is just the bee's knees. But if you're not like a guitar nut, then his name may not resonate with you at all.
No,
You know what I mean?
no, not at all, not at all. Even if you are a guitar nut, his music might not. His music's really hard to listen to, but I actually did on my podcast, The Lost Hideaway. I did an interview with Steve. That was probably my favorite one I've ever done with anyone that's a musician.
Right.
Steve is so brilliant to communicate with. That would be something worth including in this interview as well, as a link to that recording. That conversation has very little to do with me. It's a brilliant conversation. Steve is he's electric.
Now you also got Robin Ford to produce one of your records. How did that happen?
Yeah. Robin just called me out of the blue one day and asked if I wanted to do it.
Shit, really?
Yeah, I don't know how he got my number. I think he got it from someone that, 6 degrees of separation, one of those things. And I was like, hey, Daniel, this is Robin. And I'm like, Robin who? And he's like, oh, Robin Ford. And then I was like, oh, what do you do? What do you do? And he's like, well, I have this video that I saw with you with your band. I was thinking it'd be cool if we go make a record on it. Like, okay.
And you're thinking it's one of your buddies. Stop screwing with me, Joe.
Yeah. No, I knew. I could tell. I
Yeah.
watched a lot of Robin videos in my time, and Robin has a very proprietary frequency about him. Like you're in the room with Robin, it feels like it. You're on the phone with Robin, it feels like it. Like Robin, because Robin kind of has this radiation poisoning of the 60s of where and when he was living in California, where he just has this special vibe, man. And every note he plays has that special vibe, and everything he says too. Like making that record with him was just really fun. Like, because it was one way to make a record. It's like one way of going about it, and it was cool. It was really insightful, inspiring experience.
So you were just wide open to his direction, is what it sounds like, which is great. Like, how can you not be open to Robin Ford's direction if you go in the studio with him, right?
Yeah, Robin and I had agreed on was that we were going to co-produce a record.
Right on.
which I wanted him to be the producer. So
Mhm.
he wanted, but he was like, no, I want to co-produce it with you. Okay. And so basically all I did was I added my opinion and intuition where I thought it was fitting. And then Robin would pretty much always come up with the ideas for things. Oh, that was the take. That's the arrangement. That's the solo. That's the tone. Those
Mhm.
kinds of things. And with him, what was actually really inspiring was like we really didn't disagree on anything, like ever. It
That's
was
cool.
every time he felt something was right, I thought it was right too, which is rare. Um,
Mhm.
so Robin, man, I love him forever.
Yeah. Who else have you had on the podcast that has really, you know, pushed your buttons
Oh,
and
I mean,
really dug?
Brent Mason, Joe Bonamassa.
Nice. Yeah, I know Joe from when he was a teenager. He's a great guy.
I bet from being from the area of the Northeast that you're from, I bet Joe was up there all the time.
Yeah, I used to play hockey in Utica, New York as a teenager, so I knew Rome, Utica, New York very well, and so we were able to start talking about that. And uh, actually, the first time he and I really hit it off, I had been living in DC and went to the Blue Guitars exhibit that Scott Shinnery had commissioned, and I got him a book of the Blue Guitars, and he was so grateful, and we became really good friends after that. So it was kind of cool. He's
I love
just a
Joe.
nerdy, loves the music like nobody's business. How can you not dig just hanging with Joe?
I love it, man. I love it. He's always been so um in a mentor and peer way, very kind and appreciative to me.
Good.
And very open doors to questions and perspectives and ideas. In a way that he doesn't have to be,
Yep.
and it's just like, because he's a guy who made it all happen for himself. Him and his team, they did that.
Yep.
And I don't think that's lost on him. He's
I think
in
the
terms of
impression that BB King pressed upon him mentoring people has stayed with him his whole life. Honestly,
yeah,
Daniel. And he'll tell you just that.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. He's got that frequency. He's on it.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely just dialed into Joe's world, which is cool. It's fun being in Joe's world if you can get in there.
it's Joe's world for sure. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I go to dinner with Joe. We go to the Palm in Nashville, which is a couple blocks away from his house.
Yeah.
And he'll just have guys calling him, like who are just like these dealers. Like he just has minions out in the United States and Europe just buying guitars for him.
Yeah.
And he'll be just haggling. He'll be like,
That's
no,
hilarious.
20,000.
Yeah.
And then the guy on the phone would be like, Joey wants 25. And Joe goes, tell him 22.5 or I'm hanging up. It's just like it just happens like twice in just like a 30-minute dinner.
Oh yeah, you sit with him and
he's in
his
his own
phone is
world.
like buzzing and ringing every 30 seconds. Have you noticed that?
Oh yeah, he's just
The
in his
phone
own
is just
world.
going off constantly. But
I love him. Yeah, he's the man.
Right on. Well, I should let you get back to sound check. It's been really fun catching up, and I hope to see you out at College Street in New Haven on the 10th. And I just love the band and what you guys are doing, and I'm excited to see those videos from Capricorn. We'll have to check those out and post those, man.
Hell yeah! Thank you so much, Jim.
It's my
It's been
pleasure.
a blast. This won't be the last time. We'll have to do it again.
Absolutely. You take care and be safe out on the road, brother.
Thank you, Jim. Talk to you.
All right. Take care. Bye.